Hello and welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. I'm Dana Cowley and my guest today is Heather Stafford. She's with Business Oregon. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dana, so much.
For those who haven't heard of this before, can you tell us about Business Oregon and what role you play there, please?
Absolutely. Business Oregon is our economic development agency in the state of Oregon, and so I run the Office of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which is less than a year and a half old. So they recruited me out of Southern Oregon. I was running an incubator, accelerator down there, and I came and joined the state agency to build this office.
And you've been able to take this and just bring it into reality. What was your priority in that creative process?
It was a wonderful process. The first 6 months, I was just looking at what the state of Oregon had already invested in as far as innovation and entrepreneurship. We had some tools in our toolkit. We had Oregon Inc. or Innovation Council. We had RAIN in the South Willamette Valley. We had an Oregon Metals Initiative and the Northwest Collaboratory for Sustainable Manufacturing. And we also had the Oregon Growth Board. And so those were tools that the legislature already had. So we looked at those. Where do they fit in, and how can we get an overall strategy together so that we can build connectivity for our rural parts of the state, especially to all those urban resources that we have. There are more than 60 incubators and accelerators around the state of Oregon. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a really big number. There's a lot of expertise out there, and unfortunately our rural communities are not receiving the benefits of that expertise right now.
So once you've networked and established that, where do you want to take that from here?
Well, the agency used to be called the Oregon Economic and Community Development Department, and then we became the Business Development Department. And so I think what my work is really to build the community back into the Community Development Department. So getting capacity out there so entrepreneurs can find the resources that they need. If they're not there locally, they don't have to drive around the state. We're the 9th largest state by geography. Most of our resources are in the Portland metro area in one tiny corner of it. So it's really important that we use modern technology that's very easily accessible to, connect these resources to the parts of the states that need them.
What kind of benefit will your average citizen see from this?
Well, the hope is that the average citizen will have a very obvious place. We're piloting a rural entrepreneurship development initiative, and we're working with 4 communities. And it's very community-driven, and the hope is that these community members and entrepreneurs and potential entrepreneurs and youth and Latinos and tribal members, that the diversity that is Oregon can come together and know where to go, have a place that's obvious, that's visible, that they can go ask questions to figure out what resources they need to start and grow a business.
And then for you working in this environment, you have a background in being an innovator and an entrepreneur, and that kind of goes in a different direction. And government can move slowly and perhaps a different way. How do you reconcile those?
It's interesting. It's my first tour of duty in state government, so I think building in agility is the world that we're moving into. Technology has been disruptive. It moves and changes very, very quickly, and so
hard to keep up on.
Yeah, we can move at the speed of business versus the speed of bureaucracy, but innovation moves at the speed of light. So how do we get a little bit more agile with the way that we make investments into this ecosystem? Because to support this thriving ecosystem, it almost takes getting out of the way a little bit. And how do you just make resources available so you can be proactive and you can spot opportunities when they arise and invest in them quickly? The current system at state government isn't quite set up for that, so that's what we're working on.
What kind of numbers do you have as far as what this generates for the economy, maybe some businesses that have come out of it, the money it generates, the people it employs?
Wow, that's right off the top of my head. 88% of the businesses in Oregon employ less than 20 people. So most of the businesses in the state of Oregon are very small. In fact, the outperformers during the recession years, the only section of business that was actually bringing on net new jobs was the businesses between 1 and 4 employees. So if you think about how relevant that is for our state, it's hugely impactful. These are the types of local businesses. It's survival. 45% of a lot of our rural economies our rural economies, many of them, have a 45% or higher self-employment rate. So if you think about that, people are wanting to live where they want to live. They love living in rural economies, and they're willing to find a way to do it and employ themselves and solve that problem.
Well, Heather, thank you for teaching us about this new and evolving thing in the state and for being here and joining us on our set. I appreciate it. It's nice to get to know you.
Yes, you as well.
Heather Stafford, I'm Dana Cowley, and thanks for watching Charter Local Edition Northwest.